Please look up manual for details. Hey, welcome back. It's Chris. Here's another episode of Papercuts coming at you. Today we're going to do Legend of Zelda and the Adventures of Link. Now, something that's really cool is I've always enjoyed the artwork in these instruction manuals, and they're amazing. So this is going to be sort of a unboxing slash just rundown of the paperwork. And we're going to hop right into that. So yeah, it's been a long time, and you might notice that my hands are kind of stained up. It's from work. So, nice shiny gold cartridge, and nice Nintendo insert. Well, that cartridge is going to play havoc with all the light. So we're going to set this off to the side. Always love the artwork to these boxes. Alex and I have talked about this. And I love the instruction manual. Now you get two pieces of paperwork here. You get the map, and you also get the booklet. So we're going to go ahead and look at the booklet first. So I have a table of contents here, among various other things. And we have the information that tells you about the Nintendo Seal of Quality and how they rigorously go to extenuating circumstances to ensure that you have the best quality item. And here we're given a map and the rundown of the storyline. And what really kind of sucks about this is that they use black font on some very dark aspects of the picture of the map. So it's really hard to read in certain places because the font sort of blends in with the rest of the map color. How to destroy Ganon. And this becomes the storyline, the backstory, where it tells you that basically Impa has given you the order to destroy Ganon, and that you need to pretty much go and kick some Ganon butt. I always like this picture because this is the cover of the original Japanese version on Famicom. There's Link staring off into the woods. And you got some really cool anime style artwork in here, which I've always thought was awesome. There were very few things that really kind of did this back in the day as a kid. Stuff like Robotech and Ronin Warriors comes to mind, but it had that very 80s anime style artwork, and I don't know, I ate that stuff up. Even Ninja Turtles to a certain extent in the beginning looked like that. And here we go, we got character creation screen, and what's really neat about these is that, like I've said before in other videos, they're actual screenshots that were done with high-end cameras where they would just take pictures of the actual television. Basic wisdom, we've got basically a rundown on how the controller works. Kind of give you an idea on how to play the game in case back then not a lot of people played video games, so looking at this, it basically told you what all the buttons did what. It wasn't left to interpretation if you were reading the booklet. What are the main and sub screens? Basically just giving you more rundown on how the things work. Here we have the sword, the white sword, and the magical sword. And the shield and the magic shield. Ah, treasure and the mystery. The magic and the mystery. It's basically giving you a rundown of the items. Kind of like you saw back in the beginning with the rundown through the subscreen off of the main splash screen. And they sort of give you the backstory. You got the red and blue candle, you got the book, the magic book and the staff. I always love these little animations of Link too. I always thought they were cool. And the whirlwind, something that was interesting. Never knew about the whirlwind until recently. So all of Link's life, basically, hold on, let me see. The Triforce fragments. Once you have all the Triforce fragments and you beat the final labyrinth 8, it'll take you to the final labyrinth where Ganon is hiding in level 9. And all you have to do is blow the recorder and it just comes by and grabs you and whirlwinds you off to the final level. And if you didn't read the instruction manual, you didn't know that. Giving you a rundown of the overworld and all the people that you can meet, not just enemies. And here we have all the various enemies in the world. You got Tektites, Octa-Orc, Lever, Peahat, Moblins, Armos, Guinea, and Lionel. And I love Lionel in Breath of the Wild. He's awesome. You also have Zola and Rock. What a cool enemy. Rock. Then you have the underworld. Let's walk inside a labyrinth. Here you have various, like they were talking about before in the beginning of the manual, they were talking about can you spot in the instruction booklet where the various patterns for the labyrinths are laid out that Impa gave you, and that is it right there. And a lot of people talk about this being a swastika, but it's actually, in a lot of Eastern religions, it's a sign of hope and peace. It's actually not a Nazi swastika. But a lot of people always say that it's not. It's in fact, actually, the Nazis stole this from a lot of Eastern religions for that exact reason, because it was a sign of peace and hope. It was supposed to unify people, but I digress. You got Zol, Gel, Rope. You got Keese, Stalfos. You've got the Wallmaster, Uriah, Wizrobe, Darknut, Pole's Voice, and Lanmola. Here we have some more enemies. The Zelda ABCs. Here we have sort of just a quick rundown to get you through to the first couple levels. It basically tells you how to get to the Eagle Labyrinth, which is the first level, and then after that, the hand-holding is kind of done. Go out, wander around, and get your ass killed a bunch of times. Here we go, map to get to level 2, Underground Labyrinth. And it's just a very small, short part of the map. And then you have basic information. Now, moving on, we're going to look at maps and strategies. I always thought this thing was neat, and I didn't have this. Mine never came with a map. Until I rebought it. And it also is not the entire map. Basically, we have a rundown of the bad guys again, and then a redacted version of the overworld map, which doesn't have all the information, and then a few things that teaches you where to go and a a couple hints and whatnot. On the back, basically a rundown on how to help yourself make a map. And yeah, even this does not, I mean, it helps you, but it doesn't help you to the point where it holds your hand. But honestly, it's still pretty cool. So that's Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda. And now we're going to jump on into Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, which I also have a gold box version of that as well. I always thought that this cartridge looked cool, especially when they had the Zelda 2 logo on top of it. Love that font. I always thought that was funny. They only have one staple in the spine. So again, we're greeted with the same official Nintendo license, seal of quality, and jump over into the story of Adventure of Link. And it starts out with Impa again. And all the bad guys are basically pissed off that you killed Ganon. And they're taking over the land, and they basically want to get Link's blood to bring Ganon back to life. And in the process, Zelda was put to sleep. So your whole goal is to go out and basically find a way to wake Zelda up and defeat evil once and for all. It doesn't happen. Spoiler alert. 14 games later, something like that. I always thought that guy was cool. You fight him later, his head flies around. That picture of Link's really cool. And then we have an abridged version of a map again. It's a very just crudely drawn version of the overworld map, which is pretty neat, but not really all that helpful in the grand scheme of things. Here, make a new Link. There's character creation mode again, and they're showing you how to do that. And it's really neat because, and I'll zoom in on this. Basically, like I was saying, they basically did just do took a high definition camera for the time, and they would zoom in on the TV screen, and then they would just take a screenshot with an actual photo. Okay, so moving on. Link travels again to the land of Hyrule. So apparently at some point he left. And this is basically giving you a rundown again on how the controls work and the difference between the overworld and the different zones that you can be in. Now we got the jump thrust and the downward thrust, which you don't actually get until later as a spell. And explaining the point system and how everything levels up. You got attack, magic, or life you get to pick from. It's pretty cool. It teaches you everything, and I always love all the artwork in these things. So I know I keep saying that, but they're just all the little drawings and everything. They help you get immersed in the game. It's interesting they don't show you the grassland tiles, what it looks like when you fight on those areas. Ooh, magic. Ooh. And they're showing you how the towns work. There should also be some people who will invite Link inside. Oh, entering a palace. It's pretty cool. Here they got Dark Nut. They got Stalfos. Showing you the keys for locked doors. And then it's explaining the Great Palace. And here we have another crude map. It's just the upper half of the map. It's got the first palace and the first two towns. And it shows you where all to go just to get started. Oh, here we go. Got the different items to explain how, shield turned to tunic red and whatnot. Or spells, I'm sorry. Here's the item list. pea bags. They call it a treasure bag. I don't know why they put a P on it. But yeah, there's a lot of good information in this. Like if you've never played Zelda before and you're picking this up for the first time, they've got the controller information, and then we're done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed checking out these two games. But wait, there's more. Oh, what's this? I used to have both versions. I do not have the first one anymore, but I do have the Famicom Disk System version of Zelda 2. And we're going to go ahead and check that out right now. So, as you can see, it comes with a booklet and then a nice yellow disc. And I always love these discs. I found out about these in the 90s. And I always wanted one so bad. I always wanted to have a disc system. And I didn't get one until probably about 15 years later. But yeah, I always loved that. And I love the cover artwork for it. So immediately we're greeted. We got some labels, some sticker labels, and you got a spine label. And then you also have two little stickers, one of Link and Impa, and then just one of Link reading the map. And that's really awesome. You got stickers to go along with your game. A nice full color page, the full color version of the title screen that's animated. And then we have a lot of the same animations from the American version. And one thing I will say about this is that the paper is a lot more like business card paper than it is more the high gloss that came with the NES version. So it's more of a matte, and it feels a little less polished. It just doesn't feel like, it feels kind of cheap. But obviously I can't read Japanese, so we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time. But I did want to sort of thumb through this and just show you the overall differences. Because honestly, it's really neat. They've got a lot of cool little just doodles of Link sitting there and hanging out and walking through fields and whatnot. But I really find this interesting. I love to look at all this old stuff. It's very nostalgic. And as you can tell, this is a lot thicker than the American version. It's also smaller though, so there's more information to fit in a smaller space, which might be why there's more pages. But yeah, I really like the time and the detail that they went through to do this. The overall style of it. That's something that like gets lost with modern games nowadays. You don't have manuals, let alone full color, 50-page manuals. And if you want one, I think sometimes they're offered through PDF download, but ooh, magic! You don't get the same experience that you did when these games were created. I mean, this is just, it helps immerse you in the game and whatnot, but they've eliminated a lot of that now through tutorials and whatnot, which is honestly kind of sad, even though they're able to do it. Oh, we got Dark Nut and Stalfos again, which is pretty cool. And it's basically all the same information. There's the Famicom Disk System, and I wanted that one for the longest time, and then I found out about the Sharp Twin Famicom, and that's the one that I own now and I've always wanted since. Still want a regular Famicom though. And then we're back to the spells, and it's pretty cool. And the item screen, got the pea bags, the magic boots, the recorder. Ah, and here, don't mistreat your disc. Don't touch your disc. Got the little Famicom guy there. Don't step on it, don't kick it, don't put it in water. This little pink piece of paper, I don't know what this was. I think this is like something like they might have added in later, like to not get sued, sort of some kind of warning or something, but it's in every game I've ever had. So, and then we got Link on the back with the Triforce, which is really awesome looking. I love that. So yeah, there you go. That's both Legend of Zelda 1 and 2, the US and Japanese version. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you did, please give me a like, and any type of feedback, positive or negative, I welcome it all. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and this is new to you and you like it, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I really appreciate you guys watching this, and you know, sorry I haven't been keeping up with this, but I'm working on it, and there's more videos to come. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.